Did you all notice something from the Senior Bowl? Somebody wasn't there. A big prospect who was a senior who could have showed up to compete to improve their draft capital, but they was not there. They wasn't rostered. Nobody was talking about it, but he could have been there showing his stuff, balling out. I'm talking about Zach Charbonnet. In my mind, this leads to one thing, and this is the possibility that he's been told or has the indications that he's going to get decent draft capital, where if he showed up to the Senior Bowl, the only thing that could do for him is hurt him. Like, his stock couldn't get much higher than what he knows or thinks he's going to be drafted at, which means either second or third round draft capital, probably thinking second round, something like that, but it has to be good for him to do that. If it was lower, if he was projected lower, he would have showed up trying to improve his stock. That's something you got to think about. Zach Charbonnet not being at the Senior Bowl and him not there to compete to try and improve his draft stock must mean that he's feeling very good about his position right now, because he could have showed up, tried to improve his portfolio, but he is laying his chips down, saying, hey, I showed my body of work at UCLA. I showed it at Michigan. I was a high-end 4-star recruit coming out of high school. I've been good no matter what, where I was at. I broke out 2 collegiate programs, and I am ready to go. He might have been told that he's going to get drafted pretty high. He feels good about it. There's no need to compete. So this is something that we need to think about when a prospect does this. Why didn't they show up? Why are they not showing up? And this is what's going through my head, considering he's rated as one of the top running backs in this draft. He probably is going to be one of the top drafted running backs in this draft. Think about it. High-end 4-star recruit. The first freshman running back to break double-digit rushing touchdowns ever at Michigan. Then transfers out to UCLA, breaks out 2 1,000-yard seasons back-to-back, improved his production in the passing game, averaged 4.15 yards after contact per attempt, 10.4 yards after the catch per reception. So the dude has been legit, has a good body of work, and he has the physical profile of what NFL teams want in a running back. He's 6 foot, over 220 pounds, big, thick, physical runner, catches the ball in the backfield, not a liability in pass blocking, is solid in the open field, not the shiftiest, not the most elusive, not the fastest back, but a guy that gets it done between the tackles, that you can wheel out there, run some routes, and get you some after contact, and that is what you want. A guy who's not a liability, who grinds it out, catches the ball in the backfield, can be used in the passing game, can get you a good average depth of target. This guy does a lot of things that NFL teams like. A lot of teams are looking for that banger back to get a lot of workload to use on third down. He's going to give you that, and that's going to allow him to get drafted a little higher from a fantasy perspective. We know he catches the ball in the backfield. We know he can handle the rock. We know he can handle a high workload. This guy broke out with 2 different collegiate programs, did well as a freshman, had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons at UCLA. Really good resume coming out here. If he gets drafted in the second round, that locks him in the first round of rookie drafts. If he goes to a good part in the third round, to a good team, locks him in the first round of rookie drafts. If the destination's right. If it's not so right, he might slide a little bit. So it's a little bit objective if he goes to the third round. But we're looking at a guy here that wherever he goes is going to get some workload. He's going to be used, especially if he gets that draft capital. And we got an indicator right now. This is just an indicator. That's not 100% that he's going to get that draft capital. This is a good indicator right now, because if he wasn't thinking he was going to get the draft capital, he would have showed up to this and he would have competed and he would have did the best he could to improve his draft stock. This is an indicator that he doesn't need to do that, because his stock's high enough to where he's good, he's settled, and he's just going to do the other activities throughout draft season to get him drafted. This is something you want to know. Who's not showing up to the Senior Bowl? Who's not showing up to this? Who's not doing this? Who's not running? Who's not doing that? Is also stuff you need to note during draft season, so you get an idea of what they're trying to do, what they're trying to mask, what they're feeling, and just guess. It's a guessing game. I'm doing the guessing game. The NFL teams are doing a guessing game. He's doing a guessing game. It's all body of work we're trying to get through until we get to the NFL draft. And this is another thing we have, another piece to the puzzle. Zach Charbonnet not showing up to the Senior Bowl. It's all speculation. There's nothing concrete, but it's a good idea to look into this. Put the tinfoil hat on this one, and I'm pretty confident that he's getting highly drafted. If not, he would have showed up. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Smash that subscribe button. It's only going to help you out. All kinds of content coming your way. I'm here to help you out with your dynasty teams and everything else. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.